Yo, just a quick disclaimer. The audio quality might be a bit quiet at times in the episode and a bit maybe unclear. Just this is down to my laptop crashing and I lost like a lot of files. So I lost like all my external microphone audio files for the podcast. So I was only able to retrieve the visuals. So just a quick heads up, like before the video starts, that this podcast episode and the next one, the quality might be a bit quiet at times, but from episode 4 moving forward, it should be patterned. But apart from that, enjoy.
Daily offender, crazy stand up.
Yeah.
So welcome back to episode 2 of the Daily Offender podcast. It's the boy Emmanuel here, boy Ryan.
Come on, Daily Offender.
We're gonna have a bit more of a triggering topic.
You even gave him a trigger warning. Don't give him no trigger warning.
It's not triggering.
Watch your own expense in it. It's your own fault. You've seen the name, Daily Offender. Offending in Fendi. I'm not wearing Fendi today.
Offending Under Armour.
Leave Under Armour. Listen, AJ's wearing Under Armour nowadays.
You should have seen Jordan B's Under Armour shoe. It's potentially the worst thing I've seen in my life.
Don't lie.
Oh, it's terrible.
I think you need to show me afterwards because we have to start sporting Under Armour then.
Terrible.
Yeesh, it's very mad. You ever deep how mad it is that your capitalism and the way the marketing works in it, you can make something start banging again just by affiliation. Did you see when Fila started banging again because they started doing Fendi with ex-Fila?
Collabs and stuff.
Yeah. And Fila, them same ones you go to Windsor's and you look at your mum all fun.
I used to cost people for wearing Fila.
Pull up your shoes
My
like
dad used to buy me that in high school. Like, what are you doing?
yeah, are you mad? Are you normal?
I'm not rocking school like this.
You know what I'm saying? You want me to get banded out of school? Yo, nah, no way.
Nah, fine.
No way.
I agree completely.
Well, yeah, you man. Today's topic we'll be discussing polygamy.
I was scared to say the word myself because I didn't know butcher it. So I'm going to let you say it. I'm not going to say it.
So, monogamy versus polygamy.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
So,
Oh yeah, do a dictionary for it and explain to what it is, fam.
I don't even know the dictionary kind of means. So I'll Google it for you, man. So, we'll start with monogamy. Monogamy, I can't even spell it.
I'm sure monogamy is just about obviously being one person.
Yeah. Well, I know the general gist of it, but the actual dictionary definition, I'm not sure about. You know what I'm saying?
So that's fine.
So monogamy is the practice of marrying or a state of being married to one person at a time, while polygamy. Shall we spell polygamy?
Polygamy means
It's obviously poly, so more than one. So the practice or custom of having more than one wife or husband at the same time.
streets.
Eesh. Whoo. Wow.
Streets.
Eesh.
Can't believe it.
For real, the zoology version of it is a pattern of mating in which an animal has more than one mate.
Streets.
Eesh. Thinking of the zoology definition. I don't know if I want to discuss this with no more. He said this was for my dogs.
Do you believe in monogamy?
Monogamy.
Let me not say you believe in it. Do you think that we are put on this earth to just have one person?
On a biological perspective, in it, as men, this must sound so sexist, you know what I'm saying? On a biological kind of perspective, I'm just speaking scientifically, you know what I'm saying? I'm not speaking out of my own kind of personal beliefs. We'll get on to my personal beliefs later. It's not my personal beliefs. We'll speak on my personal beliefs a bit later. But in terms of biologically, men are kind of built to have multiple sexual partners. That's just facts, you know what I'm saying? They can breed one girl today, go tomorrow breed another girl, go next day breed another girl. Like, it's just what it is, you know what I'm saying? Women, they can't be bred, how can I say bred and make me sound like animals, you know what I'm saying?
Watch your words carefully, man.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm not trying to be cancelled that here, you know what I'm saying?
No, we started yet to be cancelled, man.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, nah. So for women, they can't have that same level of freedom, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On a biological perspective, you know what I'm saying? You cannot be Because when we tell the truth about these situations, the whole idea of having sexual relations, having like mating is exactly like to mate, is for you to be able to like procreate. You know what I'm saying? Is for you to have children. You know what I'm saying? So if we actually look at the intended purpose of sex, of kind of sexual relationship, the whole idea of it, or the whole basis of it, should be to have children. You know what I'm saying? So once you start looking at it from that perspective, women cannot have that same freedom of, I'm going to have sex and mate today, have sex and mate tomorrow, just on a biological perspective, you know what I'm saying? While men,
you just go around
over that, and you can literally up until the day you die, you can still be on that issue, you know what I'm saying? Because that's just how
we were built, that's how we were designed. Like biologically, we can literally plant our seeds in every single place. Literally. That's how you have like 50, 60, 70.
Yeah, the Jamaicans that. Anyways, moving forward. Yeah, shout out Ashley.
You don't need to put a race on a country.
Brother, you're editing this, so you just need to leave that out. And
that's the end.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the end. Nah, I get it completely.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, because on the biological perspective, that's so polygamy should be a thing in terms of it's one-sided, which is very peak, which is, I know, is very unfair. You know what I'm saying? Because I know people would love to kind of just skin out the bone. You know what I'm saying? But on a biological perspective, it's just, you're not kind of purposely built for that. You know what I'm saying? And although we like to kind of deny in this generation, in terms of the kind of emotional makeup of it, you know what I'm saying? A lot of women are not kind of built for it or emotionally ready to have multiple sexual partners. Yeah. I'm not saying that there's none. Obviously, there is always anomalies. Anomalies of a thing. You know what I'm saying? But the majority of women, and they will tell you themselves, they're not ready to have multiple sexual partners or multiple people that
that's how we got married. Like,
although many of them cheat, but still, that's besides the point. Women are trash, but that's besides the point. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it's true. Because like, the way we can do that is the same way that girls were designed to have things that we can't do. For example, they're a lot more in touch with their emotions.
Yeah.
They're a lot more sensitive. What's the word? Emotionally intelligent.
Yeah,
a lot more. Definitely say. And
things don't know how to handle it.
No, we don't, fam.
I don't know how to handle it.
I can't. No, I'm doing this.
We know how to do it.
Do you know what I mean? So like,
even speaking is a big thing for niggas. You know what I'm saying? Just
what we're like meant to do, or we can do naturally. For example, we can't carry children, for example. The reason why they're so emotionally strong, I say emotionally strong, intelligent, and they have so many emotions because they're able to like survive pain of like childbirth.
Well, I'd be interested to see
stuff like that,
because a lot of it we can also put down to like how the like years and years and years of society kind of putting this kind of image into people's heads.
Kind of brainwash.
Literally. I want to see, because nowadays it's a lot more free, it's a lot more open, so if a girl wants to do that, they can do that, you know what I'm saying? I want to see in the next 10 years, the next 20 years, the next 30 years, I want to see if, once you've been given that option, do you want to take that option, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's going to be what's going to be very imperative in this discussion of polygamy versus monogamy. Is it something that they want to do freely, or is biology going to kind of take over and say, no, nigga, I need to sell that my one nigga, you know what I'm saying? Because I've seen girls say, you know, I'm going to live my best life. Hot girl summer, you know what I'm saying? And they do live their hot girl summer. But in the end of it, they'll always come and kind of revert back to, listen, I've had my fun, I'm going to sell down now.
That's the thing, like, with all this like hot girl summer, hot girl forever, for example, I saw a tweet saying that you girls are doing hot girl summer versus city boys, and that without something mad, it's, as a boy, as males, it's been city boys. Like, that's just not even a justification. That's how a lot of boys live their life anyway. Like, we don't have any attachments to. If you're gonna like be with someone, we can do it and have no feelings towards it, and we should live our life like that. Obviously, I know girls can do that as well. Obviously,
again, I'm not speaking on
myself.
Yeah, I'm not speaking on myself.
I've got a lot of male friends that are mad people.
Yeah.
Not including this podcast.
Yeah,
well, obviously, no, legit, it got to the point where I was thinking, with this hot girl summer stuff, are they trying to like just chase or compare?
Yeah, boys, no, a lot of it, if we're being very, 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 very real, you know what I'm saying? If we're being very, very real, a lot of these conversations are people trying to equate.
We're not the same though.
The thing is, I feel like for people to achieve true equality for like men and women, we need to kind of highlight the differences. You know what I'm saying? If we're not highlighting the differences, it's not equality.
It's so stupid.
Because there's no point, bro. If me and you are both, if you're 6'10" and I'm 5'10", and the net is there, the basket is there, and there's no point kind of comparing. Like, listen, who can dunk the most? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we should both be able to dunk them because we've just not been built like that. You know what I'm saying? You're obviously going to be close to net. You have a more higher likely chance of dunking. You know what I'm saying? So there's no point both of us saying that let's do a dunk contest. We should be equal. Like, listen, we both should have the same opportunities. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to do that, then we should be real with it and say, you know, we're not kind of built for this, or we're not ready for this. Then, well, while still highlighting and say that, okay, you can have the opportunity, of course, if you want to have that opportunity, but just understand that you're not kind of built for that.
I think like what we need to start doing is we need to start appreciating that we are different.
There are differences, yeah.
And like a lot of the time with males and females, without sounding rude, I feel as with females, like they're trying to be competing with males to a point where like, look, there's a reason why you guys have different attributes and qualities to us males. Like, I can't be by myself forever. Like, having a girlfriend and stuff, it's good for you because you don't realise how much women help your life. Do you know what I'm saying? And we need to stop thinking that, like, okay, I'm a male, I can do everything what a female does. I'm a female, I can do
what male does.
You're not supposed to do that.
It's literally
like, obviously you should be equal in terms of like respect and morals and stuff, innit? But like, there's some things that a male will never be able to do what a female can do, and vice versa. We need to appreciate it. And if we buy into that more, I feel as if this concept of equality and
straying further away from it.
Do you know what I mean? It's just stupid because a lot of the time we even selective with it.
Because here's the thing, because people then start abusing that same power that you're thinking is empowering people. You know what I'm saying? But it's not really empowering people. People say, me and you are equal footing. You look at a female, me and you are equal footing. You know what I'm saying? And then it comes to now we're scrapping. Me and you are equal footing.
Come on,
you know what I'm saying?
This is what I'm trying to say. It gets to the point where you start now to become selective. Like, for example, if this whole concept of if a female hits you, you're gonna hit them back. For example, I've had a lot of discussions with my friends and stuff. Like, honestly, like my initial thing is that I would never want to hit a female back.
Exactly, and I'm on the same wave as you now. I'm not trying to hit no woman.
Equally, obviously, I'm on the mindset of why is your face better than mine? So like, I'm going to protect myself accordingly. I'm not going to start swinging for you because I'm going to use my justifiable force. More time I can just restrain you.
Even a beef with man to man, it's always going to be reasonable force. If you use anything excessive, police are going to be on you. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
And that excessiveness is always judged on the size of the person, the build of the person, what they know how to do, all that kind of stuff in it, that level of intoxication, all that kind of stuff is always taken into account when you're doing stuff like excessive force. You get what I'm saying? So then why is the rules now switched in it because people want to do male and females that are now equated? You know what I'm saying? There's always a level of force that you can apply to that situation. You know what I'm saying? But then the thing is, with this whole argument of men and women are equal now, and it comes to a stage where I shouldn't be apparently using like reasonable force. You know what I'm saying? I've literally had females speak to me and say, you know, no, you should use the same level of force that you would for a man.
That's not gonna work.
But you know, when we start swinging, it's peak. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking, I'm not feeling comfortable with that situation. But then I've literally had people say, no, you're sexist for having these sort of beliefs. And I'm thinking, but I don't think you might want that. You know what I'm saying?
You're a black man.
Yeah.
For example, if a girl hits us, for example, and we strike back and we now injure them, it doesn't matter what they did to us. Even if it's a small force we use. You get me? I would never let someone I never let a girl tell me that it's cool, hit them back, because really and truly you're going to get them in trouble for that. And
the thing is, I know there's certain niggas that would do that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I got certain friends in it that I would just tell the people, like, listen, please,
it's not the one.
Don't do this today. Don't do this today. And the thing is, I'm not even condoning it, but I can't again come out and stand there and be like, yo, you know, he's wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if the circumstances allow. You know what I'm saying? So if it is a situation of, I've got a very much strong stance. You shouldn't hit women. But then if it comes to a point where you hit him, I can't then kind of back you to an extent. You know what I'm saying? I can stop him from doing what he was doing, but then if I'm not there, I can't then also come out and slay him and say, you know, you did something wrong. Because we're in the 21st century, it is a case of equality. And so if it's the equality that you want, it's the quality that you get.
I always like, I've had this discussion with plenty of my friends and stuff, like female friends and stuff, innit? And I remember asking them, saying, look, say if it was your son, like your son that you born 9 months ago, now, a girl that's, say your son's like 5'10", he's only 16, he's still not finished growing, for example, whatever. A girl that's bigger than him for some reason, she hits him or whatever, and he clearly has no other help or defense, and if she's continued to hit him, for example, are you gonna say, yeah, just keep it? Are you gonna like say, okay, you're allowed to strike the person? And what some of my friends are telling me that, oh, he doesn't have to necessarily fight her back, just restrain. Yeah. And I've been in situations where, look, restrain doesn't mean shit at times. Yeah. Like, you can restrain all you want. Sometimes you actually need to show that, look, I'm going to hit you, because if you restrain someone, they can still easily help you and stuff. You need to show them, look, you can't continue to do this to me. Do you get me? Yeah. And the energy changed when it was their son. So why is it different when it's me?
No, I get that. I get that.
It's something to say about this. It's very selective with the equality thing. Because on one hand, you're talking about independence, I get my own, I don't need a man, etc., etc. On the other hand, it's like, oh wait, don't hit a woman back with excessive force. You have to spend the first date, and you're a man. Deal with this. You shouldn't have emotions, etc., etc.
I can't slide in the DMs up a vagina. What do you mean?
All that type of stuff. You have to move to me first because I'm the female. I can't move to you.
Yeah, no. I can't get down on one knee because it's you're the man. I like the man.
Lucky, I could never let go of the person you got from me.
I mean, man, let it still. You know what I'm saying?
After the girl, fam, what do you mean?
How man, let it still. You know what I'm saying?
You want to say a person have a do-rag as your wedding dress?
But I seen a gold one the other day. I said, I'm a cop. It's still because he's gonna be training behind me. You know what I'm saying?
Find a bomb.
Now, on the real, all of these issues that I think with the inequality, you know what I'm saying? You might catch that still. Inequality. You know what I'm saying? What? Don't leave me. You know what I'm saying? The whole issue with all of this inequality stuff in it, I feel like it just takes a little bit of common sense to understand that there is differences that we have to highlight and we have to understand for us to be able to get down to the simple matter of the fact that we are not the same. You know what I'm saying? Once we start understanding that we are not the same, then we'll start kind of
we'll progress a lot further from because we need to take advantage of our qualities that make us different. There's things that women have that we're not supposed to be able to do, and there's things that we have that they're not supposed to be able to do.
If we highlight these issues and understand that these issues are kind of different and all that kind of stuff, and then work for equality, highlighting the issues at the same time, and then I feel like we go so much further.
Because we're now working in cohesion instead of trying to kind of compete.
This is one of the biggest issues that I have with black men and women at this moment in time. A lot of the time, it feels like we are against each other. You know what I'm saying?
We are essentially. That's how it's played out to be as well.
It's like black women are always getting on the case of black men and saying, you don't do this, you don't do that, you do this. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it I understand. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it we haven't done well enough. You know what I'm saying? We haven't kind of shown ourselves to be trying to help out.
No, it's true.
Which I get, which I understand.
A lot of our community black people, black girls and stuff.
Exactly.
It's a trend now.
Exactly. It's one of those cases where I just feel like if people conversate about the actual issue at hand a lot better, you can get a lot further in the conversation. But then a lot of the time it comes as an attack rather than a conversation.
Like attack or competition or it's just stupid because the amount of times where I've watched a video or podcast, just if you're watching YouTube, people are arguing with each other and stuff, and every single time it comes to some sort of equality or male versus female thing, they always have to say, well, males do it, so why can't we? And I'm thinking, why should you? Are males now the benchmark? Just because males are doing it, does it make it right? You know what I'm saying? When people say, males go to as males, you can go and beat as much girls as you want. Why can't we? Fam, if my boy's out here beating bare girls and stuff, I'm gonna check him. I don't care if it's a boy or not. So you wouldn't now aspire to be like that person that's beating bare girls. You know what I'm saying?
Especially when you don't actually believe in doing that.
That's what I'm saying. It's like why? So you're even going out of the way to do that
just because you
want equality. Bro, that's not what you aspire to.
Don't get me wrong. If you was just a female that just wanted,
That's you naturally.
just have,
If you're out here,
you just want to
streets, you know what I mean? Calm.
then do that. You know what I'm saying?
They're not interested in it.
Do you know, I'll even be the one to uplift you in that. You know what I'm saying? Nah, real talk. I'll say, listen, how many guys today? 6. Come on, what's me? You know what I'm saying? I don't mind doing that. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind being that person. You know what I'm saying? Just that's going to also uplift you. Just make sure that you actually truly believe in what you're doing, and you're doing it for you.
You're doing it for like,
rather than
for like some sort
you know
of
what I'm saying?
competition or
even competition or some sort of, you know, validation or anything. As long as you're doing it just because you want to do it, then by all means do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a case of a lot of the time I feel like a lot of people are doing it because my guy can do this or my ex did this. So
it's actually such a toxic mentality because
that's for both sides too. Because listen, if I'm also hearing like, listen, my man them are doing, I'll look at you funny and say, my guy, why? Like, what's the point? Are you sure? You know what I'm saying? As long as you're sure in yourself and you're thinking, you know, it's because I truly kind of believe this and I truly want to do this, then okay, cool. You know me, I'll support you in that, you know what I'm saying? As long as you're safe, healthy, all that kind of stuff, your mental health.
Give me your reasons, and if that's
if I'm not
then
by all means do what you need to do.
We just need to really get to the point of like using males as kind of like
the benchmark
or like what males are doing.
And I know we've been in a patriarchal kind of society for the past
for time and stuff, but
forever.
It's just frustrating because like even the males that are doing it, are they right? Are they doing it?
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing to say that they're right.
Do you know what I mean?
Nothing to say that.
No one to aspire to be like that for the sake of saying, or
it's right.
Again, it's a very toxic mentality to have, and it's dangerous.
It's very, man.
You have to realise that even though the males are doing it, we're built, as we said at the start of the conversation, we're built differently, so that we can naturally do that a bit easier. If a lot of girls try to move like that, they would get hurt a lot of the time.
Very much so, because there's a lot of emotional attachment that
and it's good, you know,
we just genuinely do not have that kind of sense of
and that's why that's why we struggle in relationships to kind of like emotionally understand our girlfriends, because we're not naturally like that. You know what I'm saying?
We're not emotional beings like that, and
not our logic and
I don't know
if
we're going to attribute that to what society's kind of taught us, or if we can just say biologically we're just not kind of built for that. I would need to look at like kind of the research from that. You know what I'm saying? But from what I've seen, most men are not like that, and it's very evident when you start looking at stuff like, you know, social media. When you start looking at your friends, you start looking at other people's situation, you start thinking there's a very common trend, common pattern. It's just men and they don't form emotional connections like that. So like even if they do, a lot of the time the abels kind of come out of that a lot quicker. You know what I'm saying? 100%. A lot of the time the girls will go into the situation, they have the heart broken, they take a year out, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Man, then a week later we'll be doing a man stuff. You be on your phone when your man is saying, shit, you know, it's been a bit of a mad situation. But Thursday though, what they say? Where the hole is that? You know what I'm saying?
Literally, no, 100%.
It's one of those, and I'm not saying either approach is right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? You handle how you want to handle. You know what I'm saying? I really don't mind, as long as you know what you're doing, you're safe, all that kind of stuff. Then it's blessed. But it's just that trend of pattern that this is how man move. You know what I'm saying? This is what man am I happy with. You know what I'm saying? Then clearly there's a reason for that. Whether that's society again or whether that's biology, it's just very, very looks like it's a very common trend. You know what I'm saying?
Everything that males have to do in terms of like emotional intelligence, sensitivity, understanding females' emotions. I've got a lot of like female friends. I've got a lot of friends, not friends. I've got a lot of friends, like a lot of girlfriends, and I see the struggle they have with like understanding girls. Just very first time, family, close friends, etc. And when it comes to like understanding females, it's something that is a very, very long process to do, and you need to be around females a lot to get it completely, and not get it because you need to get it because you actually want to understand them properly, not just because of the sake of I just want to sleep with them or I just want to like be able to do something with them. Do you know what I'm saying? And this process takes a while.
It takes time.
It takes a while. Like, even myself, like I consider myself pretty understanding of females, but even so, just from being in relationships and stuff, like it's taken me a while to understand the females properly. Properly, and we are complete different human beings.
I still don't understand.
I would never understand. Let's be serious. I think you need to get to the point where you don't need to fully understand them, but just you need to like be very, very patient and get where they're coming from. You don't actually have to understand their process, because let's be serious, you're never going to understand it, but you just need to appreciate that they're built different to us, and if you really care for that person, you're going to be able to understand, okay, even if I don't really get it completely, I care about you enough and I respect you enough to like adhere to your wishes and try to like kind of improve in the way you tell him, improve on stuff like you tell me to improve on, do you know what I mean? So
What?
yeah, literally, that's how it is though. But like,
This nigga's a bad nigga.
Kinda.
Nah, just you gonna have to firm it.
going back to the like polygamy, honestly, my opinion about it is that like, I don't want to get
There's
this
two kind of perspectives from it. From myself personally.
Okay.
Personally, for myself, there's two
Personally, as
perspectives.
Ryan,
If I'm coming from a biblical perspective of it, then of course monogamy is the one. You know what I'm saying?
Adam and Eve, all that.
Adam and Eve. That's the one. And even though there is still instances in the Bible where the polygamy has been a thing. You know what I'm saying?
People having better wives.
Yeah. Which then comes on to then what forms my beliefs, I suppose. Again, I'm not going to say I outright believe in polygamy, but I feel like there is some sort of substance or kind of energy or some sort of, there's a reason why polygamy is there, you know what I'm saying? I feel like from a biblical perspective, I will 100% agree with monogamy, and I will probably end up in a monogamous relationship, in a monogamous marriage, all that kind of stuff.
In Jesus' name.
Amen and amen. You're going to say my wedding? Come on, man. But anyway, in terms of polygamy, I 100%, I believe that there is some kind of truth or some background to that. I feel like if you are a person that is built for that, then by all means go for that, you know what I'm saying? There's obviously a reason why many men like having multiple wives, whether it's a greed thing or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's very much possible for you to have a polygamous relationship, you know what I'm saying? You can have multiple partners. I feel like that is something that you can do if you are built for that, you know what I'm saying?
So do you think people that genuinely,
I feel like there's
able
people,
to
there's
sort of like,
people
even
that
in this,
genuinely
even in this,
built for
like
that.
this generation now,
Yeah,
people are genuinely built.
especially in this generation.
Okay.
Especially in this generation. But even looking at past instances, how many times the only thing that limited the amount of wives you could have back where like you know we're African, you know what I'm saying? The only thing that limited the amount of wives you could have when you're back home is literally how much money you had. If you had more money, you could have as many wives as you want, bro. If you're poor, okay, you're gonna have to leave. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't support them, innit? But if you could support them, you could have literally as many as you want. You know what I'm saying? The chiefs had how many wives? You know what I'm saying? Till this day, it's still a law in Zim. Actually, I don't know if it's still to this day. But as of like last year when I last checked in it was still a law in Zimbabwe, that you can literally have legitimately multiple wives. You know what I'm saying? Nobody but an idea because it's legal. You know what I'm saying? You can have legal marriages. Here in the UK, you can't have legal marriages to multiple people. But in Zim, you can. You know what I'm saying? But there's a reason for these kind of laws, because if you can afford it, if you can keep it up, then yeah. In Islam, you know what I'm saying? We once had a discussion with Adam, isn't it? And he was telling us, and he basically said, as long as you are treating each wife the same, then you can have, 4, 5, 6 wives, you know what I'm saying? There's a reason why all these things, and Islam is not something to play with, you know what I'm saying? Being a Muslim is not something to play with. They don't like to change laws, you know what I'm saying? So even still, there's a reason why all these things came about, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we've been kind of brainwashed as such. I'm not even going to say brainwashed.
Conditioned?
Yeah, we've been conditioned because we're in like a kind of Western civilization, all that kind of stuff in it.
The norm.
Yeah, the norm is now that we need monogamous relationships, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to say we don't need monogamous relationships, but I feel like the shunning of polygamous relationships is wrong, you know what I'm saying? Again, I will probably end up in a monogamous relationship, but the fact that everybody looks down so much on polygamous relationships is completely wrong in it. If we had like a little bit of a shift in mentality in it, people would literally sit there and say, you know, it's sister wives. You'd be happy and content in that, you know what I'm saying? If you knew that we're all secure, my man loves me, but he also loves 2 women, you know what I'm saying? You'd be happily content with that. The thing is,
just the concept of that is good.
this is what I'm saying. It makes you crease now. It makes you crease now. But if you're actively in that role, you know what I'm saying, and you can actively afford to keep up your 3 wives, bro, what's stopping you? What is really there to stop you? You know what I'm saying? If you can sit there, people are doing this for free right now. You know what I'm saying? People are understanding my man's cheating on me, but I'm gonna turn a blind eye because because you know I love him too. You know what I'm saying? People are turning a blind eye to these things already.
Okay.
But if we were to be more upfront about it, more out in the open about it, I know that people would actually 100%. If people are going to be judged so much about it, or people just to turn around and say, you know, you're a mug. You know what I'm saying? Being in this situation, people will be so much happier. You know what I'm saying? Because I know people are in this situation. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are like the whole Jaden Will kind of situation. They set out like a little bit. I'm not even gonna say contract, but they set out something there and understood like, listen, we are married, yes. We are a unit, yes. But you're gonna do your thing. I'm gonna do my thing. And look, if you actually look from an external kind of standpoint, they did that and they came back stronger. You know what I'm saying? They said,
can I pause him?
Yeah.
Since you've gone down, let me get a different perspective. Do you know how you're talking about like if we kind of not shun it so much and maybe more open to it and maybe like let's try to understand polygamy more than just shun it completely?
Yeah.
Do you honestly think though that the way humans are built and the way emotions are, especially let me not say especially women, but a lot of women as well, do you think we're actually ready to even be able to comprehend the fact that we are in a polygamous relationship? Like I know females, yeah. Not that I'm just female guru, but like, just from having friends, relationships and stuff, like, I know that like females don't like to share.
Well, here's the thing, this is why I have to interject, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
There is literally, in this same society, there's still like people who are doing it actively, like polygamous relationships actively. Mormons as such, I think it's Mormons, you know what I'm saying? Amish people, you know what I'm saying? They are, Amish and whatever, you know. Well, yeah, there's people like literal religions and stuff like that who are literally right now in this day and age sharing happily. You know what I'm saying? They're okay. They're happy with it. So I don't feel like it's a case of we can't do it.
So you're saying because we got to the point of where we've been so like conditioned and
exactly
like this.
Yeah.
That even trying to, because even me trying to fathom.
Yes.
I wouldn't catch you, bro. Like even me, I don't think I could ever be in a polygamous relationship just simply because. First of all, it goes against my like obviously religious beliefs. But even so, for example, yeah, like it just seems bad to me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In terms of like sharing my love for different people, like, and
if I'm 100% honest with you, I think I'll be in a monogamous relationship, but not because I couldn't handle a polygamous relationship, but because of the kind of influence that's been influenced on me. So to me, I don't see polygamous relationships as being ideal.
Like look at Will and Jada, for example. Right? Like, I'm not saying they tried the polygamy thing and stuff like that, but obviously it started to happen from whatever reason and stuff. Yeah, and just from watching like interviews and stuff, you could see the hurt in Will's eyes. Like you could see.
But where's that hurt coming from, though? That's my one question. That would be, you know what I'm saying? Is that because my wife stepped out on me, or is that because we've been taught that she's stepping out on me? You know,
so do you want to get to that point though of like where that will not hurt that much?
Yeah.
If we really, so you honestly think we get to that point?
I feel like if 100% you could literally get to a point where you think, you know, it happens. Because when you start deepening it, if you are with a girl that you do not really see as being your wife, does anything that you would actually do with her or what she does outside of your kind of, does that bother you?
No, I wouldn't.
Why? Because you set out the kind of constraints that, listen, you're not kind of connected to me like that, so you can do what you want. You know what I'm saying? Now think of that as your wife. And I'm not saying that your wife should be able to do it, but if you've kind of set the constraints with your wife, or you kind of set that constraint from early, and you haven't got this predisposition of my wife is only supposed to be limited to me, you know what I'm saying? If you come to that point and that understanding, at some point you niggas will be chilling, you niggas will be high-fiving and saying, you need your thing.
So you think you can invest that much love for this person?
Yeah.
And at the same time,
you're
going to be able to be like, you know what,
definitely,
we're going to be in this type of thing because this is the like terms and conditions of this thing.
Yeah, literally. I feel like it takes a certain level of adult conversation.
This takes a lot of words.
The thing is, do you know why people don't do it? Because it takes a hell of a lot of security in yourself. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Because the reason why people move mad and the reason why people don't think that they can do it is because they feel like, if you are doing da-da-da with da-da-da, rah-rah, I'm going to lose you to da-da-da,
That's the thing,
rah-rah.
I would like to, this is my biggest problem with it, because I just feel as if it just invites
So much. But if you was to start deepening from a completely different angle and start understanding, like, listen, it's not a case of I'm going to lose you to them, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You are also going to do your thing, I'm also going to do my thing, but to be honest, me and you are still...
I fully get that. You know what?
It comes from a certain perspective of, listen, you are made for me and I'm made for you, so you always understand that, listen, maybe sexually you're more compatible with them, innit? But when it comes to the actual love,
this is the problem. This one, something to say. I really get what you're saying, and you know what? In theory, I actually agree with you. But obviously, just
the practicalities is mad.
Just because in theory it works, when I think about it practically and stuff, like, I just even if we understood the concept of polygamy, I just think there's going to be situations where, because of our pride, our ego, our whatever, we're going to get to scenarios where it's like, the polygamy thing is not going to work. So, for example, as you were saying, imagine I've got 3 wives now, for example. I'm sexually compatible with wife number 1 compared to the other 2, for example. And for some reason now, that's the reason why I want to continue having sexual relations with wife number 1. Now, for example, maybe I have more of a better conversation with wife number 2. Maybe I have more in common with wife number 3, and we have more fun in dates and stuff. For example. You're telling me now there's not going to be complexities between that scenario.
Definitely, but then this is what I'm saying. I feel like it's a case of both men and women need to have a lot of growth for this to be because.
And do you honestly believe that this amount of growth can be achieved?
I think it can be achieved. I definitely think it can be achieved. Yeah. Maybe it's more from a narcissistic
because view, but this is 4 people involved in it. It's not even a relationship with 2 people, that's complicated. You're adding an extra 2 people.
This is what I'm saying. I'm not trying to downplay.
This is too techie, fam.
I'm not trying to even downplay like that. I understand it's going to be techie. I understand it's going to take a special kind of person to kind of understand that. And
this is the reason why it's not the norm.
There's definitely a reason why it's not the norm. But then also I feel like it would be more the norm if it was more accepted. Like at one point, I'm not going to equate these situations, so please, if you're listening to this, then don't start coming out and saying, right, you know what I'm saying?
Come on.
But there's a reason why stuff like beforehand being gay, being lesbian, bisexual, all that kind of stuff was completely out of question. Okay. But how many centuries has this been happening? You're telling me there wasn't people like kings, queens, all that kind of stuff that were gay, bisexual, all that kind of stuff, but they will be behind closed doors. That's not because of not because more people didn't want to be gay, bisexual, etc. Probably LGBT, all that. You know what I'm saying? It's not because people don't want to be a part of that. It's because from what they've been told it's wrong, it's socially unacceptable. You can't be part of this and succeed.
So you're saying like the same kind of energy concept?
Literally, because what you've seen is now that it's more acceptable, how many people are part of the LGBTQ? Whatever it is, isn't it?
You have to do that for me.
But listen, how many people are now part of that community now? How many people openly say, now listen, I'm gay, bisexual, all that kind of stuff? Even the same people that when we were growing up in it were saying, nah, you're my guy, you're definitely, and they were like, nah, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's the exact same kind of concept now, you know what I'm saying? If you give the people the opportunities to be open kind of part of this situation and feel no type of way, there is literally girls that don't mind doing that, you know what I'm saying? They say, you know, I can be sister wives, I'm happy with that, I'm okay with that situation, you know what I'm saying? There's guys that will be like, you know, I don't mind, because some guys, as much as it is, you know, like we have this perception that guys like sex, there's a high percentage of guys that do not particularly want that, you know what I'm saying? So as long as you have a kind of mental attraction to me, I can do anything.
Is this just a one-way thing, or is it if you flip it? So is it just a concept of men having multiple wives, or is it a case of why women can have multiple husbands?
This is what I'm
trying to say, fam. This is what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. You tell me your whole chest, your big gym chest now. Tell me now. Yeah, keep sipping that drink, fam. Tell me.
Listen,
you come home, yeah. Two of them one of them is palming your wife, yeah, and she's telling you whilst you're palming her, I can't lie, husband number one's better than you. Tell me now, your chest.
See, but
no,
that's a bad scenario. Because why would she tell me that you're better? That's beef. That's beef, right? Because now you're taking a piss. Come on.
No. How's it different?
Because me personally, I wouldn't go out my way to say that. No, wife number one, you're.
Okay. Let me make it.
Just out of respect.
Let me make it more. How can you can say you're palming this girl, your wife, and you can see she's not into it as much. Now, husband number one that can give her the good word is coming through and telling you, we have great sex, etc., etc. She gets into it so much. You can even hear the sound she's making.
I ain't say that.
And then tell me all of this. No, say because you guys live in the same area, fam. What do you mean? That's how it works. So imagine if he comes and tells you just passively in conversation, not even in a cheeky thing or like a mockery thing, How are you gonna take that? Tell me.
Again, this is where I come back to the point of listen, could never be me though. But
how many people have that concept?
It takes a lot of growth in it. It takes a lot of growth.
Do you not think that there's a lot of people that are like you and like me that can be me?
Yeah, definitely. But then why the question I'm always gonna ask is why are we like that? You know what I'm saying?
Do you actually want to get to the point where you're cool with that?
My guy, I didn't say you're putting words in my mouth.
No, but that's the thing.
Words in my mouth. I never said I want to be that.
But do you think it's healthy though for us to be able to accept that as men? Or as females anyway? Either way.
Yeah. I feel like there is a concept of that being healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, which healthy is here? Like,
again, this is not...
Obviously, it's just mad to me, fam, because like...
The thing is, I'm speaking from a kind of perspective of... Like, as a bit of an outsider.
You're being dickhead after that's what you're doing. You're arguing with someone, they're not giving you their point, but okay, that's this.
No, because if I have to come on like my own personal beliefs in it, you already know it. It's just a case of...
Gotta get content, you know?
Yeah. Niggas say gotta get content. But nah, it's literally the concept of... For me to kind of understand both perspectives in it, it's going to take like having to see from the other side. You know what I'm saying? And to negate like other people's feelings on it is a bit like, you know what I'm saying? So what I would say on the actual whole situation on like that whole concept in it, if we was to actually grow and be more mature, because we always don't deep that a lot of these kind of, because I know with men that would be the problem. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like a lot of girls are, like I said,
that's
a lot
why,
of girls are doing active.
That's why I didn't stress the female thing. I'm saying if a female had multiple husbands, and you know there's a lot of men that are like.
But then here's the thing. The likely, this is where it gets a bit techie, it gets a bit mad. I feel like polygamy is more kind of pointed or gated towards the men. You know what I'm saying?
Having multiple wives.
Even just looking at the population size at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like population at the moment, there's. I don't know the exact figures in it, but there's a whole lot more females than women. You know what I'm saying? So even then still, if you start deep in shit, if you start looking into shit, then
I never see that. You only watch documentaries or like videos. I never see it when females got multiple husbands. It's always like
I've seen like one or two videos, and a lot of times they
the females have more husbands.
Yeah, they look like simps. They look like simps in it. They're like, you know the type of man. Which again, I'm not going to even take the piss out of them because if that's what they're comfortable with, then that's what they're comfortable with. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
again, it could never be me though.
It could never be fun.
It's the case of like, I feel like not that it could be us, but if it was in a completely different kind of life, we'd not been kind of indoctrinated, kind of from.
I don't say indoctrinated.
But because the thing is, we have to kind of deep that a lot of these beliefs that we've got at the moment is stemming from something. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these behaviors are taught from something. You know what I'm saying? So we've got this picturesque view in our head of how marriage is supposed to be like, and I guarantee you, if we were brought up 60 years ago, 100 years ago in a completely different environment, so let's say, i.e., Africa, our gold standard would be, nigga, I need to get me a bag so I can have 6 different wives. Listen, me, Linda, Koisha, you know what I'm saying? Their names will be spitting out there, you know what I'm saying? But because we've been brought up how we are, even having 6 wives right now, it'd be a luxury, something that we could joke about. We could say, nigga, me, I'm gonna go to the club, me, I'm gonna wife. You know what I'm saying? We can joke about this shit all we want in it, but we know ourselves when we're really, really, really deep in it, like, listen now, that's not gonna be me. That's not gonna be me. You know what I'm saying?
It's not my story.
Exactly. But then we got to understand that because of how society has kind of played out and what society says, that's what we believe. So if it was to be brought up in a completely different scenario, a completely different lifetime, where we've been kind of empowered to feel comfortable in our own sexuality, in our own masculinity, all this kind of stuff, and to then believe that women can also do this and still love us equally, you know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be feeling this type of way, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I wholeheartedly believe. I feel like we wouldn't be in this scenario where we're thinking like, listen, if my girl is to kind of, if I'm to share my girl, she's gonna love me less, because essentially that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? The whole reason why we don't want our girls kind of like, you know, doing a thing with multiple people is because we then get shook. You know what I'm saying?
Fear of, like,
you know what I'm saying? I'm going to lose you,
Yeah.
and especially for men who are not in touch with their feelings like that. You know what I'm saying? And not understanding.
It's a scary situation.
Yeah, it's a very scary situation. We're just very tough about it. We don't want to kind of express that. You know, is the fact of the matter is we don't want to lose you, so we don't want over competition. Where girls are a little bit more accepting and such. You know what I'm saying? They understand that. Listen, he might be able to do da 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 da, but he's always going to come back to me. You know what I'm saying? There's been multiple accounts of high prominent females that have said this openly. So, you know, he can do a madness on the side, but when it comes down to it, he's always going to come back to me. You know what I'm saying? Girls are much more accepting of that, and I feel like it stems from having both strong females and having both strong males who can both understand the situation and compartmentalize and understand the situation is like this. You know what I'm saying? I'll be very open and admit it's not for me. You know what I'm saying? The way that I'm set up, I can't accept it. You know what I'm saying?
But in terms of like in theory,
it very much work. You know what I'm saying? In theory, I think if we all kind of brought up, like it's already done our 5 generations. There's no way we can do that. But if we were to teach, I'm not going to say I'm going to teach my kids. That's not what I'm going to teach. You know what I'm saying?
But if we were to
actively
start a new base
if we were to start a new conversation, dialect or forum of these things, and we were to teach the next generation or the generation after that, listen, it's okay to be like this. It's okay to be secure in yourself. It's okay to be secure, and you don't need to have that kind of locked up mentality. You know what I'm saying? Then you would see a shocking rise in.
I'm sure, like
polygamy.
with newborn babies and stuff. The only newborn babies, they only know what they're supposed to. If you just tell a newborn baby from the minute it comes out of the womb, polygamy is the right way to do it. Polygamy is the right way to do it. Everything, multiple wives, husbands. That's all they know. There's nothing to compare to.
Exactly. You got to stem how deep this like monogamy indoctrination has been. You know what I'm saying?
That's twice you use the word indoctrination.
Because this is what it is.
You understand? You've been in the dictionary from. Okay.
The source is actually, you know what I'm saying? But listen, you got to deep in where this actually all stems from. Every movie we've ever watched since day dot, monogamy. You know what I'm saying? Every kind of sermon we've ever been to, monogamy. You know what I'm saying? Like I would even hesitate to say, like, listen, even in most kind of conversations on a religious background, in it, we skip over the aspects of polygamy in it,
and you kind of focus more on the
monogamy side of it. You know what I'm saying?
Plenty of in the Bible. There's plenty. That's why everyone has so many children. You know what
I'm saying? This is the exact it. You know what I'm saying? Was it Abraham? Abraham had 2 wives now.
And it's a very popular between Sarah and
the younger one, isn't it? I can't remember her name. But yeah,
the one that had some issue now.
You get what I'm saying? So this.
How can I not remember the wife?
You get what I'm saying? Exactly. So we're gonna skip over this one probably. But yeah,
I remember what the thing.
So yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Here you go. Calm.
There we go.
There
we go. But yeah, now even from like this is early passages in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So this has been something that's been about, but we always divert. You know what I'm saying? We skip past it because that's not the ideal kind of setup we're supposed to have. You know what I'm saying?
There we go. You said it. I feel as if though, okay, let me not things in these type of like discussions, I don't think it's always necessary to come from a biblical point of view because not everyone obviously.
This is why I said it. This is the sort of biblical side of me, and then there's also
But even so, though, like I feel as if a lot of biblical concepts, if you look at them, I feel as if they are made for the best intentions and how we are set up and stuff. You get that there's not many biblical concepts that I've read or understood
that's supposed to be
that's kind of gone against how we're naturally set up. Amount of biblical concepts I've read, they kind of suit how we are.
But then even still, this is where I come onto it, and this is where people are going to hate me from it.
They take not me.
Even in a biblical kind of standpoint, the man has always had multiple wives.
Okay.
Has the woman always had multiple husbands?
No.
You get what I'm saying? This is why I didn't want to touch too tough on it, because then it sounds like I'm coming across as listen, women shouldn't have this accessibility. That is yo. All these men that are listening in it, no, that's not me. That's not what I'm saying. So please don't put these. Don't come on me. Don't look for my workplace. But if you start deepening it in like how we've sort of built, how this is why I started with the approach that I started off with. highlighting the kind of biological aspects of it, because I feel like a lot of women are built for that life. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's just the idea of being shown or the idea of being kind of put down about it is what influences their decision to. Because, like I said, a lot of you women are doing it whether knowingly or not knowingly. A lot of you men, you're sharing women. You're sharing men in it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a thing. It happens. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the whole aspect of not being okay with that or not being happy with that comes from the standpoint of you're going to see other people who are now laughing at you, taking a piss out of you, or all that kind of stuff in it. So that's going to inform your decision of I don't really want to be kind of a part of that. You know what I'm saying? But when you actually start deep in it, you are actually happy with that. You're just being influenced by outside influences that are saying, you shouldn't be happy with
I
that.
definitely do think it does stem to the fact of the premeditated mentality, thoughts, how we should live life, etc. I do just, in theory, I actually do get what you're saying. Obviously, even just as a person that's been, all I know is monogamy, essentially, so that it's still even my concept to me and stuff, but boy, honestly, that's a good combo because I didn't even think of it like, it's the first time I've had like a proper conversation about it.
Yeah, no, it's a very mad conversation.
I can tell there's a lot more you want to talk about, so about to do like a part 2 to it.
Now, to be fair, we might actually have to do a part 2 too. I feel like we may even need a guest to speak on now and still. I feel like we need a girl.
Should be a girl to talk about.
I feel like we need a girl to kind of have a discussion about that stuff.
Because we're just saying from
a man's perspective, and I don't know how. They could be completely.
It's true. You could have been chatting and they're like, no.
But yeah, no. On the real, man, thank you so much for kind of joining part 2, episode 2. Yeah.
You know what? Let us know like what you guys think about
this
monogamy versus polygamy thing, because obviously I didn't really come on the perspective of what Ryan did, and I didn't think of it like that at all. So like, just DM us and stuff, like talk to us.
Contact us, man. Talk to us together on the Snapchat. You know what I'm saying?
It's cool.
But yeah, now shout us in, let us know in it, and catch us on episode 3, man.
So let's. Cheers.
Come on.
That was a nice one, bro.
This is why I said I came to attack people. You didn't record?
No,
you take